The Design Swamp of Mental Illness. Michael McLean, NobleBook.com, coming to you on a gorgeous evening in Naples. Just wanted to shoot this quick video and talk about one of my favorite insidious topics, especially for our youth, especially for children, especially for our teenagers and young adults. Anti-social media. Toxic, insidious, cancerous to the human mind, and something that if it was a drug, if it was a shake, if it was a pill, if it was a physical product, most doctors and some psychologists agree it would already have been banned from general public use. Certainly banned for our children under the age of 19 or 21, whichever you want to pick and choose about. Just absolutely something that I had a wake-up call almost 3 years ago from a mentor of mine, and I used social media at the time for both business and for personal use. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, what I'm shooting this on. And this mentor of mine said, Michael, every second that you're spending on social media is another second that you are wasting time that you could be spending with your wife and with your daughter. And if you're not spending it with your wife and daughter, you could be spending it making a positive impact, helping other people in this world, making a difference, promoting your business, whatever you choose. Every minute, every hour wasted in the swamp of anti-social media is another minute, another hour, another day that you could be spending and investing with your loved ones. It only took him telling me that one time where I completely disconnected from the swamp. I do not participate in social media, Facebook, Twitter, never did participate in Instagram or anything else. Admittedly, I use YouTube, which I think is the best of the worst, and I use it. I think it's an excellent servant. I think that it's a horrible master, but I do believe when it's used by discipline, YouTube is a place that can be used for educational purposes. Very difficult at best. I have been using this media, YouTube, recently to host my daily videos. Now, I don't expect to be welcomed here much longer. It's only a matter of time to a business person like me, a capitalist, a person who believes in self-responsibility, self-reliance, a person who is pro-work, a person who is pro-family. It's only a matter of time until I'm canceled off of this platform, and it's only a matter of time until I can't use this media. The great thing is with all my media, and this is a tip for you businessmen and entrepreneurs, is I always move people off of social media into my own media, my own email, my own mailing lists, my own faxing lists, my own media that I and only I control. So when the day comes and I'm deplatformed from YouTube and I'm canceled by some algorithm at YouTube for having a pro-business, a pro-responsibility attitude, I won't miss a single day. I won't miss a video. I won't miss an opportunity to shoot a video. I will just move back to my previous owned media. With that said, we need to be, as business people, we need to be using social media for business only at best. And even then, as a longtime marketing coach and consultant, I've looked upon this as something that it's not even close to on my top of the list or anything like that. I am a person who likes to use offline media as much as possible. I build my existing Badass Millionaire program by selling real hard physical books. I do advertise on Facebook. I'm able to do that at a 1-to-1 return on investment. I'm able to do that some days profitably, but the day that I can no longer use Facebook to grow my business is the day that I have multiple other ways to grow my business. Full page magazine ads, referrals, email, faxing, the list goes on. And I prefer to build my company with offline media. Same with anything else. If you can use it and you can use it properly and you don't get involved in it personally, then that certainly is an option. But it's not the only option, and certainly not the best option through my experience when it comes to marketing, advertising, or promoting your business. So what I did when I checked out almost 3 years ago is I didn't leave it up to willpower or trusting myself or any of that stuff. I just immediately opted out. And what I did is I took all access to Facebook as an example, because that was the only one that I was active on personally. And I literally took that and I took it off my phone. I don't carry a cell phone, so that wasn't really a big deal. And what I did is I made sure that I didn't have access to it on any of my PCs. I don't have access to it on my MacBook Pro. I don't have access to it anywhere, and I don't carry a cell phone. So it was not a big deal for me. I would have had to go searching. I just left up my existing profiles. I didn't go as far as deleting. If somebody wants to search for Michael McLean, they can find me. And I don't think that that's necessarily a good or a bad thing. The other thing is that is now I leave all of the business part of it up to my business partner, Mark Andre. He handles our ad campaigns. He handles the posting of the videos, so I don't have to participate at all. I don't have to worry about getting involved or being tempted or any of that stuff. So I was never a big social media guy. I'm not built socially like that, so that was not a big deal for me. The thing is I understood the dangers. I have several friends that work in big tech, and these are really, really, really smart guys who go to work every day, and for better or worse, they work on, hey, how are you? I love that vehicle. And they go to work for better or for worse in big tech, and their number one job is addiction. Their number one job is to build those companies that and those platforms to addict you as the consumer. There's a great saying in that movie about Facebook that if you think the product is free, well, the joke is on you. You are the product. And I remember that quote and writing it down. It was interesting. Sean Parker, one of the co-founders of Facebook, was quoted in The Guardian a few years ago as saying, the number one thing that Facebook has been designed to bring out the worst in human behavior. He was also quoted as saying that he could just not even imagine what it was doing to the minds of young children in our society. As a badass father, as a grandfather, whatever your situation, we need to be making sure that we're showing up for our children and making sure that we're policing these platforms, letting your children, I don't care what age they are, letting them run free on these platforms is just the same as dropping them off in the roughest area, a crime-ridden area anywhere in North America, and saying it's okay for them to be there. So just, completely unacceptable, completely, as like I like to say, you're talking about a swamp of depression, anxiety, mental health, you name it. And if, the links to teenager and child suicide through social media, if that's not disturbing enough, it's like I was saying earlier, if, and many doctors and psychologists agree, if this was a product, a physical product, a pill, a protein shake, something you drink, it would have been banned, at least to our children and our teenagers, a long time ago. So that's my warning. It doesn't make people better, it makes people worse. Like Sean Parker said, it's designed for addiction. It's designed to bring out the worst in human behavior. It's designed to consume and addict and take as much time as humanly possible away from us through addiction. And it's designed to dumb us down. The reason I wasn't really active in social media, never has been, is how it seems to bring out the lowest common denominator in people, and it slowly dumbs down people. If you question a person on any of the platforms, one question in, and the person has no idea what they're talking about. It's not the days where there used to be debate. Now it's just about dumbing down. I call it deep as a puddle. And I'm surprised people that spend, days and weeks and months and years on social media, I'm surprised that they can still, after all the dumbing down, I'm surprised that they can still tie their own shoes. It is a swamp of mental illness. My recommendation to my elite world builders, my society builders, is they cannot afford to spend any time on that. They cannot afford to have their children participating. It is for the 99%. It is a recipe for disaster. It is a recipe for addiction. It is a recipe for depression and anxiety. And they simply cannot allow it to be part of their world. And that is my belief. That is my experience. And the less time spent in that cancerous, insidious swamp, the better. And admittedly, I use it for things like these videos, but I don't participate. I don't participate at all personally. And I think that if you'll notice, the people that are involved in building social media platforms, going way back, the Silicon Valley days and all this other things, into the iPads and the internet and stuff, it was amazing that a lot of these people, their children are never exposed to any of the technology that they've developed. In other words, they were attending private schools in Silicon Valley where there was no technology, no iPads, no screens. They were Montessori-built private schools, pen, paper, all this, the exact opposite of what mom and dad were building. And that's what I like to use as a badass millionaire principle, is don't go on what people say, go on what they do. Watch them. Behavior tells the tale. Not what people say, but what people do. And that's what the high-tech builders of all these platforms and all of this technology and all of this so-called social media, they do something very different with their own children. They do something very different with their own lives. You don't see them spending time wasting away on anti-social media. So that's it for today. That's my message for today. I feel very strongly about this as a father, as a parent. When I'm coaching hockey, as you may or may not know, I ban cell phone use at the arena, whether it's practices or games. I understand the addiction is so strong that as a hockey coach of 16, 17 to 21-year-olds, I just took the phones away. I didn't allow them to bring them into the facility. That way I had the players' attention for the 3 hours, the 4 hours, whatever it was. I watched players literally come into the facility exhausted mentally, poor body language, the whole deal, and just come alive over the next 2 to 3 hours. So I've seen the positive effects of taking these, not just, access to it, but taking the smartphones away and having, young men exercise and train and fresh air and all this kind of stuff and be together and socialize. At the business level, when I had 23 employees at McLean Insurance, I had every employee sign a document. If they don't sign it, they don't work there. And we literally took 23 cell phones away every single day. We locked down access on all of the working computers, no access whatsoever to any sites like Amazon or YouTube or Facebook or any of the stuff that they would be on. So not only did we take their smartphones away, we also, we also made sure that we monitored what they were doing on their computers, so that nobody was, doing their Christmas shopping or shopping online or checking ESPN. And that way I was invested. I was buying the time of my 23 people, that they were there mentally as well as physically. Now that I no longer own McLean Insurance, it's a free-for-all, as you might guess. Cell phones all day, 23 people texting, emailing, access to the internet, doing everything but making money for the company. Not my problem anymore. I'm just telling you what I did. I demand performance, I demand results as a businessman and as a coach. And in 2020, and just, I demand by taking away. I understand that the umbilical cord addiction is just too strong, and you literally have to take these things away. Smartphones and access to any of this stuff should not be allowed in the schools. They should not be allowed in the schools. Telling a person to shut off their phone or not to participate in, social media or any of this stuff, that's fantasy sold as reality. The addiction is that strong. We tried that in our insurance company. We tried that at my barber shop. I've tried that in masterminds and seminars. Now I just simply take them away. And if a person doesn't want to focus, with pen, paper, and really be a serious student, then I don't want them participating. I curate them out. I'm looking for ways to punt them anyways. And I did the same with my hockey team. There's a reason we won the Barclay Cup the last year I coached the Perth Blue Wings. We won the Barclay Cup because not only we were the best team, we were the most focused team. We were the only team that was there mentally. We had both feet in the job at hand. And we had both feet mentally in the job at hand because the cell phones had been taken away. So not always a popular position, not always welcomed, but it's welcomed by champions. It's welcomed by men that are looking for the slightest edge. It's welcomed by people that want to build real companies, businessmen that want really profitable employees. That's who it's welcomed by, and that's all that matters to me. So that's it for today. Out here by the high school track, and time to head home. It is tennis lesson night for Emery. Tuesday night is private tennis lessons. We have an awesome private coach in Diego, after I fired Emery's first coach for not being present, not being prepared, and not having a passion and an obsession for coaching. I mean, you don't have to be Scotty Bowman or Tom Landry or any of these guys, but you have to have a passion. If you're going to teach, if you're going to be a school teacher, you need a passion for children. You need a passion for teaching, for coaching, and nothing else, nothing less will be acceptable. Emery's teachers, it's funny, Emery's teacher at Montessori at home has a passion to reach children. She has a passion to help children. She has a passion for coaching and having an impact on those kids. And that's what I look for in Emery's coaches. Her horseback riding coach, man, oh man, she has a fucking passion. She has a passion for it. She's not doing it for the money. She's doing it because she has a passion for that sport. And that's what I look for in my world builders is, do you have a passion? Are you living your mission? And time for social media and stuff, that just takes away from your passion. That just sucks the life out of your goals and your values and your mental focus. Get rid of that stuff today. as my grandfather used to say, take social media and everything that comes with it, take it behind the shed, beat it dead with a shovel, and never speak of it again. There's never been a better time for you to get focused, to opt out of all that mental trash that comes with social media, anti-social media. Get rid of it. Start focusing on your marketing, your family, your marriage, your children, your community, and use that time for something that builds you and your world up and not something that tears it down. Take it behind the shed, beat it dead with a shovel, and never speak of it again. That's where anti-social media belongs, behind the woodshed. That's it for today. 2 words that changed my life. 2 words that can change your life. Be relentless.